Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakothi Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namah Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namah Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyaama Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaye Stuttuvagum Sastanubhi Yashema Devahitam Yadayuh Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedah Swasti nastarksho Arishthanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dhadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So namaste once again everyone.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. So we will read the first mantra of the second section. Tadetat satyam
Tadetat satyam
mantreshu
mantreshu
karmani kavayoho karmani kavayah yani apashyan tani tretayam bahuda santatani tani acharata niyatam satyakamah yeshavah pantah sukrutasya loke. Very good. So in the last class, we saw the word meanings of this mantra and also completed the first part of the bhashyam. Then we entered the second part of the bhashyam and discussed up to Hautra Advaryu Audgatra Prakarayam Adhikarana Bhutayam. So the first part of the bhashyam dealt with the first quarter of the mantra, which is Tadetat Satyam Mantreshu Karmani Kavayah Yani Apashyan. The word Apashyan is derived from the verbal root Drish Dhatu. And in the grammar, it is called a Tinganta. These are technical terms only for, one student asked a question in the satsang. So I thought I will just briefly explain. Tinganta are forms which are derived directly from the verbal root. And Bhashyakara explained this word as Drishtavantaha, which again in the technical language of grammar is called Kridantaha. So it is thus expressing the same thing using different suffixes in the language. Beyond that, there is no difference in the meaning between apashyan and drishtavantah, same meaning only. Okay. And in this first part of the Bhashyam that we completed, Bhashyakara explained that the karmas which are presented in the mantras of the Vedas, which were seen by the rishis or seers like sage Vasishta, etc., are valid. Valid means what is stated about the results of these karmas are true and effective. Therefore, one can have full shraddha. One can rely on what is stated in the Vedic mantras and then gain the promised results by performance of the karmas ordained therein. And the results of this karma will help a person to directly gain the three purusharthas, dharma, artha, and kama purusharthas. But the limitation of these karmas is that they are not helpful in directly gaining the moksha purushartha. However, there is one upside, that these karmas, if they are performed as nishkama karmas with a karma yoga attitude, it will help the person to gain chitta shuddhi, which is very important for pursuing the prescribed sadhanas for gaining moksha. So even though these karmas do not directly benefit in the form of grant giving moksha, from the standpoint of moksha purushartha, all these karmas are all indirectly beneficial. And therefore you cannot ask a question, karma is better or jnanam is better, karma kanda is better or jnana kanda is better. That is an irrelevant question. Both are important. To come to karma jnana kanda, you have to go through karma kanda. There is no choice. Then we entered the second quarter of the mantra, which is Tani Tretayam Bahuda Santatani. So we will read that portion of the Bhashyam and then continue the discussions from where we left off. Okay. Tani cha
Tani cha
Veda Vihitani
Vedavihitani
Rishi Drishtani
Rishidrishtani
Karmani
Karmani
Tretayam
Tretayam
Trayi Sanyoga Lakshanayam
Trayi Sanyoga Lakshanayam
Hautra Advaryu Audgatra Prakarayam
Autra
Adhikarana Bhutayam
Adhikarana Bhutayam
Bahuda
Bahudam
Bahuprakaram
Bahuprakaram
Santatani
Santatani
Pravrittani
Pravartani
Karmibihi
Karmivihi
Kriyamanani
Kriyamanani
Tretayam Va
Tretayam
Yuge
Yuge
Prayashah Pravrittani.
Prayasah Pravartani.
So Bhashyakara begins this portion by saying that the karmas which are seen by rishis in the form of mantras and which karmas are ordained in the group of the three Vedas, wherein the duties of the respective priests belonging to each of the Veda, namely Hota for Rig Veda priest, Advaryu Yajurveda priest, and Udgatra the Samaveda priests, And the method of performance of these karmas, which are called Hautra, Advaryu, Audgatra, are prescribed. Then even though Bhashyakara does not mention it, we saw that in all such big rituals or yagas, a very important duty of supervising the entire rituals is assigned to Atharva Veda priest, who is called Brahma. This priest is not required to perform any karmas, unlike the other three sets of priests belonging to the three Vedas. But he has to have a very good knowledge of the mantras, the karmas, the method of performance prescribed in the other three Vedas, in addition to the knowledge of Atharva Veda to which he belongs. Then only he will be able to perform his supervisory duty effectively, isn't it? It is like, somebody who has got no idea about software wants to start a software company. He wants to be the CEO. He thinks that by getting lot of software experts, he can manage the company. It won't happen like that. If the head, the person who is supervising others, does not know anything, then what will happen? The juniors, they will very soon find out that this guy who is the boss doesn't know anything, so we can take him for a long ride. That is what will happen. And therefore, it is very important that this Brahma, this Atharva Veda priest, has full knowledge of not only the mantras, but also the procedures prescribed for chanting the mantras, doing the karmas. All that he should have thorough knowledge. Then only he can supervise properly. Then only he can, where some mistake is happening, he can stop it and correct it. As we saw, he can even give some prayaschitta karmas to be performed as a punishment. Not exactly a punishment, atonement, you can say a softer word. So up to this we saw in the last class. Then Bhashyakara goes on to explain the word Bahuda, which is there in the Moolam. And he gives a very simple meaning. Bahuda as Bahu Prakaram. Bahu Prakaram means in various ways. Santatani, he explains as Pravrittani. Pravrittani means prescribed, set forth. Karmibihi Kriyamanani. The karmas which are done by the rituals. That means these mantras do not simply mention, do this karma, you will get this, etc. And mere knowledge of that information is also not useful unless the karmas are actually performed. So Pravrittani has got the final meaning. They are being done as per the prescription of the Vedas. And he further clarifies that the karmas are rituals which are being talked about and which are prescribed or set forth in the three Vedas in various ways. And they are actually meant to be performed. So this is to emphasize the point, as I said, that mere knowledge of the karmas and the methods without actual performance will not give the promised karma phala, the results of karma. So here, Tretayam, the word which is there in the Moolam, Bhashyakara interpreted that as three Vedas. Now Bhashyakara gives another meaning for the word Tretayam in the Moolam. He says, Tretayam va yuge prayashah pravrittani. So the first meaning of the word Tretayam was in the three Vedas. Now here Tretayam is in the meaning of Treta Yuga. As we know, the cycle of creation is divided into 4 yugas. Satyuga, it is also called Krita Yuga, then Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Now, of course, Kali Yuga is going on. Kali Yuga, the predominant feature of Kali Yuga is fighting. And that is what we are experiencing everywhere, isn't it? Even for small thing, people fight. When people have been living together on certain issues without any big fight, suddenly those issues are raked up and big fights start. And that is all because of this is all Kali Yuga features, Lakshanam, Kali Yuga Lakshanam. And therefore, when you look around and see that all people are fighting, it is understandable. We don't need to get overly worried about it or concerned about it. And according to the Shastra, the Chatur Yuga cycle lasts for 43,20,000 years. This we have seen earlier also. The ratio of split between the 4 yugas is Krita Yuga 40%, Treta Yuga 30%, Dwapara Yuga is 20%, and Kali Yuga is 10%. Minimum is Kali Yuga. Thank God. It is only 10%, which still is 4,32,000 years. And moreover, Kali Yuga has just started about 5,000 years ago. So we still have got a long way to go. So in terms of number of years, Kali Yuga is 4,32,000. Dwapara Yuga is 8,64,000. Treta Yuga is 12,96,000. Satyuga or Krita Yuga is 17,28,000 years. And all these 4 yugas together make one Chatur Yuga, which will be 43,20,000 years. Now, different yugas have got different lakshana so far as karmas are concerned. Different types of sadhanas will be predominant in different yugas. And for that, there is a nice shloka in Vishnu Purana. That shloka goes like this. Dhyayan krite yajan yajnaihi tretayam dwaparerchayan yadapnoti tadapnoti kalau sankirtya keshavam. And this particular shloka is oft quoted by many acharyas belonging to all matam. Dvaitam, Advaitam, Vishishta Advaitam and all. And everybody gives different interpretation, especially for the last portion, Kalau Sankirtya Keshavam. For that, everybody has got their own interpretation. Anyhow, let us see what does this sloka say. The sloka says, Dhyayan Krite. In Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, there will be predominance of dhyanam, meditation. People will be predominantly doing meditation all the time. So the main sadhana will be meditation. People will not even have time to visit each other's house because everybody is meditating. And so even when you go to somebody's house, suppose you are not meditating, other fellow is meditating, what will be the use of such visits? So most of the time people are meditating. And therefore you see rishis all the time they are meditating. They are Satya Yuga people. Krite. Here in the Krite word in the sloka means Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga. Then the sloka says, Yajan Yajnaihi Tretayam. Yajan means performing yagas, doing the rituals. Yajna means yagas, homam, etc. So in the Treta Yuga, the predominant activity will be doing yajnas, yagas, etc. Then Dwapare Archayan. In Dwapara Yuga, they will be doing pujas, like Shodashopachara puja, etc. That type of pujas done in temples, that is called Archana. So Japa Ashtottara Archana, Sahasranama Archana, Laksha Archana, etc. all will be done predominantly in Dwapara Yuga. Then Yadapnoti Tadapnoti. This is a very, very crucial phrase. Yad apnoti means yat apnoti. Whatever a person gets by doing meditation in Krita Yuga, doing rituals in Treta Yuga, and what one attains by doing this Archana in the Dwapara Yuga, that result, one apnoti attains how Kalau in Kali Yuga Sankirtya Keshavam, by glorifying or remembering the names of Keshavam, by singing the names of Krishna or Vishnu, like bhajans, Divyanama Sankirtanam, etc. Of course, this does not mean that in Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, etc., one should not do meditation, or for that matter, homam, yagas should be done only in Treta Yuga and all that, not in other yugas. That is not the idea. The idea is these are the predominant activities relating to each yuga. Now, listening to this sloka, here where the problem comes. People have some confusion. Why? Because in this sloka, it is not mentioned what is the result attained. All it says is, whatever one gets by meditation in Krita Yuga, the same result one gets by Nama Sankirtanam in Kali Yuga. What is that same result? And this is where it has led to a lot of misunderstanding, that the ultimate result the Shastra talks about is moksha. And therefore, even though it is not stated, what this sloka talks about is moksha. And therefore, people say in Kali Yuga, you don't need all these things. Just to do Nama Sankirtanam, you will get moksha. See, very simple. Even you did not know raga, talam, nothing you require. Just you must have devotion. Bhakti should be there. And then sing the names of Rama, Krishna, Shiva. Go attend every week some bhajan, Radha Kalyanam, Sita Kalyanam. Once in a while there will be a Akhanda Nama Kirtanam. So all that Nama Sankirtanam, if you do, you get moksha. This is what many people understand. And therefore, one more aspect they say, that all this shows that there are multiple paths to moksha. Different yugas, they are prescribing different paths to moksha. That's what they will claim. And they will quote this Vishnu Purana sloka as the pramanam. They will totally ignore whatever Upanishads say. Vishnu Puranam becomes the main pramanam for them. Even though, as we see, in the Puranas are only tertiary literature so far as Veda is concerned. Not even secondary. Primary literature is Vedas. Secondary is Smriti Granthas. Tertiary is Puranas. Then comes the Itihasas. So, That is what has led to so much confusion. And then it is a human tendency. What is that? Why should I do a difficult thing when I can get the same result by the easier one? They ask, no, why should I do Sandhya Vandanam? I will just chant Gayatri Mantra. 108 times every day I will chant. That's okay. Because both will give the same result. And moreover, in this Kali Yuga, when I am so busy with so many activities, I am not only visiting people, constantly. For me, the friendship and camaraderie, all very, very important. You see all the WhatsApp messages, they all talk about this only. Relationships, all very important, my relationships. I have to keep in touch with them. I have to help them because when I need the help, they will come and help me. And not only that, I want to go and see sightseeing. There are so many beautiful places to see in the world. I have to go to all those places. And then there is some Kumbhabhishekam happening here, another Kumbhabhishekam happening somewhere. I have to attend all those Kumbhabhishekams also. Where is the time for all that? Over and above that, I have to work, I have to earn, I have to support my family, etc. Then TV is there. My God, evening, full programs are there. How can I miss those programs? So entertaining, so entertaining. Thus, in Kali Yuga, people say, where do I have time to do all these difficult sadhanas like meditation, yajna, archana, etc.? I will join some bhajan group and every Saturday I will attend those bhajan sessions, sing some kirtane, one or two, namavali. I will get the same result. So people have this tendency, if I can get the same result, why should I do the bigger one, the difficult one? Because meditation is very difficult. Even sitting for a puja, some elaborate pujas, they take about couple of hours. Suppose you want to do Panchayatana puja. That puja is supposed to be done by everybody every day with Abhishekam and all that. 6 deities are worshipped. It's a beautiful puja which Adi Shankaracharya recommended. We'll talk about that later some other occasion. So this is what is the position in Kali Yuga, and the people do not realize that because of a wrong interpretation of the sloka, they have got this idea. So what is said in this sloka, let us understand. This sloka is not talking about jnanam, but this sloka is talking about jnana yogyata. We must understand the difference. This talks about chitta shuddhi. This sloka is talking about sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. So in Satya Yuga, people used to get jnana yogyata, the fitness for jnanam, by meditation, dhyanam. In Treta Yuga, they got the same result. Jnana yogyata by performing rituals like yagas, yajnas, etc. In Dwapara Yuga, by doing puja. And the same result is attained by Nama Sankirtanam in the Kali Yuga. So the result which is the same for all the sadhanas is not moksha, but it is chitta shuddhi or jnana yogyata. So if you take that interpretation, then Upanishads become relevant. When Upanishad says, jnanena tu kaivalya or kaivalyam, then that makes sense that you can get moksha only through jnanam, not by any karmas. So the way we have to expand yadapnoti tadapnoti is yat chitta shuddhim apnoti tat chitta shuddhim anya sadhanani api apnoti prapnoti. That is how we have to understand this particular sloka. This is what people in this Kali Yuga, they miss. So therefore, Bhashyakara says, Tretayam va yuge. Va means or. That is, he is saying, there is another meaning for the word Tretaya. Tretayam yuge, in the Treta Yuga. Prayashaha pravrittani. See, the word prayashaha he uses means predominantly. Pravrittani means are done. So in Treta Yuga, they are performed predominantly. So Treta Yuga is the period, the age when people are predominantly doing these Vedic karmas. Homas, yagas, etc. So two meanings he has given for the word Tretaya. First meaning was in three Vedas, where three types of duties are talked about. Second meaning is Tretaya, means in Treta Yuga, these Vedic karmas are predominantly done. So these are the two meanings. Basically, ultimately, what he wants to come to is, even if you take the Vedic karmas, the rituals which are performed in Treta Yuga, all very well, but they are not going to give you moksha. They can give you chitta shuddhi, but not moksha. That is the message. Now we will read the rest of the Bhashyam and discuss each sentence. Okay. Ato yuyam
Toyuyam
Atoyam
tani acharatha
Tani Acharya
nirvartayata
Nirvartayata
niyatam
Niyatam
nityam
Nityam
satyakamaha
Satyakamaha
yata bhuta karma phalakamaha santah
Yatha Bhuta Karma Palakamaha Santah
yeshavah
Yeshavaha
yushmakam
Yushmakam
pantaha margah
Pantaha
sukrutasya
Sukritasya
swayam nirvartitasya karmanah
Karmanaha
loke phala nimittam
Lokanimittam
lokyate drishyate
Lokhyate
bhujyate iti
Bhujyate iti
karma phalam loka uchyate
Karmaphalam Lokhyate
tadartam tat praptaye
Tadartam Praptaye
esha margah ityarthah
Esha Margah
yanyetani
Yanyetani
agnihotraadini
Agnihotraadini
trayam vihitani
Trayavitani
karmani
Karmani
tan yeshav pantha
Tanyeshapantha
avashya phala prapti sadhanam ityarthah
Avashya Prapti Sadhanam Nityartha
Very good. So the chanting has improved a lot. That is how, we have to keep on practicing it. And all these difficult words which we will find, right in the beginning to pronounce, By repeated practice, they all become easy rather. So that is why, all acharyas rather who are teaching Bhashyam, they will insist on practicing this chanting of the Bhashyam as much as possible. In fact, in our Gurukulam, before the start of each class, we will actually chant the Bhashyam up to the what it has been seen in the previous class. So every class, the Bhashyam chanting time will keep on increasing. Anyhow, so first sentence says, Ato yuyam tani acharatha nirvartayata niyatam nityam satyakamaha yatha bhuta karma phalakamaha santaha. So tani acharata niyatam satyakamaha is there in the moolam, in the mantra. Here the word satyakama, as I told earlier also when we saw the word meanings of the mantra, satyakamaha can be taken as sambodhana. Or satyakamaha can also be taken as being desirous of the result of kama. Both meanings we can take. So being desirous of the result of karma, may you do this karma. Tani acharatha. That's what it says. So here, Bhashyakara starts with ataha. Ataha means therefore. And therefore means wherefore. It means since these karmas are going to definitely give the result, therefore, yum means all of you, plural. Tani means those karmas, acharata, may you perform. And Bhashyakara gives the meaning nirvartayata, may you perform. See, we have to be very careful in pronunciation. If we give emphasis on the last ta and make it sound like tha, the whole meaning will change. That's why pronunciation becomes very important in Sanskrit. Nirvarthayatha means run away from the karmas. All difference is ta alpaprana and tha mahaprana. If you just pronounce it wrongly, it means you run away from karmas, withdraw from karmas. That will be the meaning. And it will be absurd. So it will be like saying, if you perform these karmas, you will get the results which are promised in those karmas, and therefore you run away from these karmas. What will be the meaning of that? Therefore, we have to be very careful in pronunciation. And therefore, pronunciation, perfection in pronunciation will come only through practice. So we have to be very careful while pronouncing the words in Sanskrit. Then niyatam. Niyatam is there in the Shruti. Bhashyakara gives the simple meaning nityam. Nityam means regular. Normally people will think nityam means every day. But the word regular is more encompassing. It means every day. It can be every day, every week, every fortnight, every month, every year. Whichever is prescribed. Means not daily karmas, but regularly which have to be performed. Whatever way it is prescribed in the Shastra, niyatam means regularly as prescribed in the Shastra. As regularly as prescribed in the Shastra. Because there are certain karmas like Shraddha karmas. You have to do those karmas only once in a year. Then Amavasa Tarpanam and all, every month you have to do. Sandhya Vandanam, Agnihotram, every day you have to do. So there are different karmas, different prescription, different periods, etc. But all have to be performed regularly. So niyatam acharata, may you do these karmas regularly. That satya kama hai. Bhashyakara says, yata bhuta karma phala kama hai santa hai. Yata bhuta means valid. Here we can take it with karma phala. So the valid result, infallible, definite result of the karmas. Satya kama hai, as we just now saw, two meanings. One is sambodhana, addressing the people. And satya kama also means the people who are having the desire for definite result of the karma. So yata bhuta karma phala kama hai santa hai means the word santa hai should be connected to UM. Where santa is plural, UM is plural. So we have to use the same, plural form. So being desirous of the definite results of actions, may you do all karmas regularly. May you do the actions, rituals regularly. And that is the suggestion given by the Acharyas. Since you already have the desire for material benefit if you have, then better you do the karmas. And if you don't have such a desire, come to Vedanta class. No karma is involved here. Only Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam is involved. Because what happens, if you have a desire for material benefits and you don't do the karmas, you don't come to Vedanta class also, what will happen? You want the results. Then you may perhaps go for unfair means. Isn't it? Cutting the corners. It's okay, everybody does it. Let me also do it. See my neighbor. He is a big bungalow, 4 cars, school children going to all top schools. I'm told that he earns some money above the table and lot of money under the table. When he can do it, why should I not do it? So all these things will come and start justifying itself. And therefore the Shastra says, go for fair means. By fair means, attain what you want to attain. That's the idea. So that you go through the experience of karma phala, and then after some time, as we will see in the 12th shloka, pariksha lokan, you will get vairagyam when you closely examine the nature of karma phala, because certain things can be learned by experience only. Of course, there are people who learn from other people's experience, and there are some people who learn by their own experience. For vairagyam, the best way to attain vairagyam is own experience. Isn't it? Like children, if you observe the small children, the mother will be cooking in the kitchen, and then the child will be somewhere around. Of course, these days we have got the big platforms and all. Olden days, there was no platform for cooking. So mother would have just, made some dish and kept that hot pot somewhere nearby on the floor. This child will come and touch that, and it will get burnt badly. What will happen? 100 times if the mother tells the child, don't touch it, don't touch it, the child will not touch. But once it touches and gets burned, understands, experiences that karma phala, that it is hot, it will pain me, then next time the child will not go near that. So that is how, by looking or by experiencing this karma phala and then finally coming to understand that this karma phala are all, they are ephemeral. They will vanish in time. They are not the answer for my quest. Then vairagyam will start coming. Okay. So in the last quarter of the mantra, which is Eshah Vah Pantav Sukritasya Loke, is taken up by Bhashyakar. And we have seen earlier, Loka has got the meaning of result, Karma Phala. Now, how you say it is, because for Sanskrit students may ask this question. Loka normally means the worlds, isn't it? So there is a Loke is seventh case, something called Nimitta Saptami. So when Nimitta Saptami is used, it will have the sense of for the purpose of, for Nimitta. So here, Loke is used in the mantra in the sense of Nimitta Saptami. Of course, other people, don't worry, don't start fretting. If you know Sanskrit so well, then all this will make sense. Require a good understanding of the way the language works. Anyhow. So for the purpose of result of karma, result of sukritasya, result of sukritam means the karma which is done very well by oneself. So result of karma which is done by oneself, yeshah panta, this is the path. This means the karma is the path for attaining or for the purpose of the result of karma done by oneself. Because if I do karma, the result will come to me only. So the word sukrita has got two meanings. One is well done. Sushtu kritam sukritam. Well done. Another meaning is swayam kritam sukritam. Both meanings are there for the word sukritam. That is, which is done by oneself is called sukritam, and which is well done is also called sukritam. Generally, when a person knows well, and if he does, it will come out well because he is doing for oneself. So this means that the performance of karma is the path for getting the result of karma done by oneself. This is the meaning in the Moolam. Now Bhashyakara is explaining. Yesha vaha. Yesha means this. And this refers to karma or performance of karma. He says vaha is equal to yushmakam, for you, for all of you. Panta hai is equal to marga hai. Simple meaning, path. In fact, my Acharya says the word path in English perhaps derived from pantha only. Quite possible. So Sukritasya Bhashyakara here explains as Swayam Nirvartitasya Karmanaha. He is not taking the other meaning. Sushtu Kritam is not taking. Swayam Kritam meaning he is taking. Nirvartita means done, performed, Swayam by oneself. Karmanaha action. So Sukritasya means of the action done by oneself. Loke is equal to phala nimittam. Again, Bhashyakara is taking the meaning of loke as karma phala. As I said, nimitta saptami, for the purpose of its result. So the meaning of the sentence is for the purpose of the result of action done by oneself, this is the best path for all of you. That is what the Upanishad is telling us. Acharya is telling us, Acharya Angiras is telling, the student, the Shishya. This is the right path. And that is the message here. So in short, Acharya Angiras is telling the Shishya Shaunaka that these Vedic karmas which are prescribed in the Vedas are sure or the best path for attaining the result of karma. And therefore, what is the message? The message is that you can't say Jnana Kanda is superior to Karma Kanda or the other way around. Both are very important. What is said in the Karma Kanda is also Satyam. What is said in Karma Kanda is also Satyam. Jnana Kanda is also Satyam. In fact, both these Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda put together is what is called the Veda, the body of Veda. And Tadetat Satyam. So whatever is said in the Veda is Satyam. That is the message. So now, as I said, Bhashyakara has taken the meaning of the word Loke as Nimitta Saptami, but he knows that there is another meaning of the word Loke, and then he gives that meaning also. In the next sentence, he is explaining the word Loke in the sense of the world, like Bhuloka, Suvarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, etc. So first loka was not in the sense of world, in the sense of karma phala. So first he explains how karma phala can mean loka. He says lokyate, drishyate, bhujyate iti karma phalam loka uchyate. The verbal root loka has the meaning darshane, to see, to perceive, to look. Again, probably the word look in English has come from loka only. We don't know, because we always take pride in saying that Sanskrit has lent so many words to other languages. Because according to us, Sanskrit is the original language, the first language. Of course, there are contentions. The Tamil speaking people say Tamil was the original language. Everybody like that in the world, English, they will say English was the original language. So like that, but anyhow, we take pride in saying Sanskrit was the original language, and that many other languages have borrowed words from Sanskrit. So from the lok dhatu, darshane, this word loka has come. So Bhashyakara explains, first meaning he said, lokyate, drishyate, bhujyate iti karma phala loka uchyate. So both meanings, in fact, he is putting in this. First is lokyate, drishyate iti lokaha. It is a karmani vyutpatti, passive voice. That which is seen is lokaha. Lokyate is equal to drishyate, he says. That which is seen. And seen is here in the sense of bhujyate. Bhujyate means experienced. So that which is seen means that which is experienced. Iti karma phalam. Iti, this is karma phalam. The result of karma. Lokaha uchyate is called lokaha. So what Bhashyakara is saying that when the word loka is used, it is still in the meaning of the world, but not as a noun, but as a verb, means that which is experienced is a loka. Because we experience the world. That is why it is called loka. So here, loka means any karma phala. So whatever we experience in our life, good or bad, which can be attributed to our past karmas is called loka. So loka exhausts my past karma. And we have to understand this very carefully. The karma phala may not be the same for everyone. We all think that particular karma will give a particular karma phala. That's a wrong supposition. Suppose, for example, suppose I have an accident, suffer injuries. That is the karma phala of my past actions. So it is loka for me, but not for others. Of course, in my family, if they are compelled to look after me in the process, they have some emotional issues, that is loka for them. So the event remaining the same, the experience for different people is different. And that's why Bhashyakara is very careful, First he says drishyate, then he hastens to add bhujyate. So what you see means what you experience, enjoy, suffer, whatever it is. So bhujyate is loka hai. So karma phalam loka uchyate. Then he says tadartam tat praptaye yesha marga ityartah. So here he is just explaining a grammar point. This is for Sanskrit students again. As I said, this is a nimitta saptami. The word appears in nimitta saptami. So what is nimitta saptami? Bhashyakara is explaining tadartam tat praptaye. So this is the meaning of nimitta saptami. Tadartam means for that purpose. Tat praptaye means for attainment of that result. Yeshaha margaha means this is the path. This is the path means the performance of action prescribed by the Vedas is the path, is the right path. So the final meaning of the sentence Yesha Pantaha Sukritasya Loke is this is the path for attaining the result of karma done by oneself. And this refers to performance of Vedic karmas. Now, in the last sentence, Bhashyakara is giving the meaning of the mantra itself, final meaning of the mantra. What is the purport of this mantra? He says, Yani etani agnihotradini trayam vihitani karmani tani yeshav panta avashya phalaprapti sadhanam ityartha. Basically, he covers the entire mantra. Yani, which it should be connected to karmani, the karmas, rituals. So yani karmani, which karmas, which Vedic rituals, etani agnihotra dini, these agnihotra karma, etc. Trayam vihitani. Trayam refers to the three Vedas. Vihitani means prescribed or ordained. So those karmas which are in the form of this agnihotra, which are prescribed in the three Vedas, tani, those karmas, are esha pantha. They form the path, means they comprise the path. They are avashya phalaprapti sadhanam. They are the sadhanam, the means for avashya, definite. Avashya phala means definite result. Praptihi, for attainment of. So they are the definite means for the attainment of the definite result. So this path, which is in the form of karmas prescribed in the Vedas, is the means for attainment of the definite result. Definite result means what? If you do the karmas properly, you will definitely get the result. And this has to be told by acharyas because this is not verifiable by scientific experiments. How will you verify it? For example, if I do Agnihotra karma, I will get punyam. How will you verify that? Of course, they are now trying some scientific experiments, etc., on rituals. I remember a few years ago in Kerala, some yaga they did. I think it was called some Soma Yaga. Lot of publicity was given. The aim was filling the environment with positive energy. It was meant to cure the many ills of modern society, which has lost moral, ethical, and spiritual values. They, of course, followed the procedure as given in the Shastra. One undeclared aim, perhaps, was to prove that the Vedas are scientific. More about this we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Thank you all very much. Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
And happy Guru Purnima in advance.
Same to you. Same to all of you.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om Guruji. Namaste.
Hari Om.
Thank you much.
Thank you. Hari Om.
It is nice to know questions, Guruji. It's nice to know because I think time and again I have asked you in previous classes if jnana is the only way for moksha, then what about like especially I had the little opportunity to read the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, where for the majority of the people, the lay people who went to him, he always said in the Kali Yuga, all the other sadhanas are difficult. So Bhakti Marga and Nama Japa are the ones that can be practiced by everybody. And so it's nice to know that, yeah, he probably, I mean, telling anyone that or anybody even now that if you do Nama Japa, it will make you qualify for the Jnana and Moksha or Brahma Jnana, and Moksha is probably too far to go, probably. But just then advising the first step itself, with Bhakti, do the Nama Japas and Kirtana, and that will take you to the next step. And that's nice to know, Guruji. And thank you very much. I had some of the doubts with the, not the grammar itself, but then maybe I had not listened to it properly in the last class because my husband was driving and I was on the road. But yeah, I listened to the previous lecture session once again, and whatever doubts I had, I got clarified, Guruji. And yeah, thank you very much. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Yes, Hariji.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari
No,
Om.
this is not a doubt. I just to keep you informed. Dr. Jayakumar ji, he is in Hyderabad.
Okay.
He has come for his brother's son's wedding.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Very nice. So he is there in your home right now?
No, he is not. He will be staying with his brother, but I
Okay.
met him.
You met
We
him.
had lunch together.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Very nice.
There is one. Yeah, there is one more student. So we went and we had lunch together. So
Okay.
we were talking about you also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. So any other question?
Thank you very much, Guruji.
you.
Namaskaram. In advance,
You all a very,
happy
very,
Guru
very
Purnima.
happy Guru Purnima.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
We'll meet next week.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is on Thursday, so we meet anyway on Friday.
You may?
I said, Thursday, the Guru Purnima.
Yeah.
And Friday we meet. Of course, that is
Yeah,
Gita.
Friday we meet post Guru Purnima only. Okay, Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaskar.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.